Hey, this is Chris from StockSpot. Now, we often get asked here, what's the difference between StockSpot, a robo-advisor or automated investing service, and a micro-investing service, which there are a few of as well in Australia. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some of the key similarities between robo-advice and micro-investing, some of the differences, and then talking about how you can decide what's the right one for you. So starting off with the similarities, there are quite a few things in common, which is why robo-advice gets confused with micro-investing quite often. The first is that both really are easy to use. They're platforms that you don't need to go off and pick stocks and make active investing decisions. They are very easy to use platforms that really automate the investing process. So that would be the first similarity. The second one is that typically both use ETFs as the core investment. The micro investing platforms in Australia typically are investing into diversified ETFs, and certainly here at StockSpot, we're building a portfolio of low-cost ETFs. So ETFs is another similarity. And then the third is really both are designed for long-term investing. So unlike trading platforms and cryptocurrency platforms, which are much more focused and geared towards trading, short-term buying and selling, micro-investing and robo-advice are about set and forget, long-term dollar cost averaging, building wealth for the long run. It's more of a long-term savings product rather than a short-term speculation product. Sorry for interrupting, but I'd like to take a moment to talk about my channel. Now, most people who watch my videos don't subscribe to my channel, which means that they don't find out about other videos I'm making, and it doesn't share the love with others who are interested in investing. So if you are interested in videos like this, I would encourage you to please subscribe to my channel so you find out more about the videos we're making here. So there's some of the ways that they're similar. Now let's talk about some of the ways that robo-advice and micro-investing are different. The first one is around just the starting amount and top-up amounts that you need. So micro-investing apps are really geared towards people who are getting started with very small investing amounts, because you can get started with as little as $5. And then when you make purchases, they round it up, and those small micro investments, as the name would suggest, get invested into your portfolio. So you can start very small and make very gradual investments. It starts to build great savings habits, but it's about really small investments. Robo-advice, on the other hand, and I'll talk about the structure in a moment, is really geared towards people who are starting off with a little bit more money and potentially looking to grow their wealth into the tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands or millions. And the reason why the starting amount for robo-advice is typically different, or certainly at StockSpot, is that all the investments aren't held on a custodial or a shared structure where your assets are mingled with others. You actually own the ETFs in your own name, and they're legally and beneficially yours, which means if you ever want to go and manage those assets yourself and transfer the ETFs elsewhere to another advisor or another platform, you can do that. Whereas with a micro-investing platform, it's not possible in most cases to actually take those investments with you. If you want to leave, you actually have to sell, which realizes capital gains, and you may have to pay tax on that. And so really considering whether you're starting off and going to continue investing small amounts or larger amounts may dictate which of those two is right for you. The other big difference is advice. So robo-advice platforms, as the name would suggest, are actually providing advice. So at StockSpot, we give every client a statement of advice, which is what our recommendation is to that client. And that changes as your life and your circumstances and your goals change. So each year we'll review your investment strategy and make sure that it's aligned to your goals. On the other hand, micro-investing services typically aren't providing any level of personal advice. They may give some general advice and general information on their website, but it's much more as a self-serve platform where you have to determine what's the right investment strategy for you. Do you want to pick a high growth strategy or a more conservative strategy? They're not going to tell you which one. You've got to actually match it to your own goals. And so I think that ownership structure, the advice element, and then the top-up amounts are really the key differences. And to finally kind of sum everything up, I think that probably drives why you may decide between a robo-advisor and a micro-investing app. Micro-investing is really suited towards people getting started with very small investing amounts. Most of the micro-investing platforms in Australia have average balances of $2,000 or $3,000, so that gives you an idea of the types of clients investing. And we often see those clients, as they grow their portfolios, graduate towards a robo-advice platform like StockSpot, Our average client's investing over $50,000, and we have many clients investing in the millions as well. So it's a more suitable platform, I believe, from a tax and efficiency perspective, but also the transferability of your portfolio is important for people with larger portfolios. And that's why robo-advice is probably geared better towards people with larger balances to invest. And there's some of the similarities and differences between micro investing and robo-advice and why you may consider one over the other.